Yes guys, and welcome back to a brand new video guys, and in today's video guys we are going to be talking about Manchester United's last game that we went and played, Southampton, away from home guys. It ended in disappointment. We drew 1-1, not good enough by Manchester United. It's just not good enough by us. But anyway guys, let's just get straight into today's video. We made two changes from the last game against Leeds United, talking about the starting 11. So we started with De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, Fred, Matic, Greenwood, Fernandes, Pogba and Martial. Getting into the overall reaction now, Man United held at Southampton. Disappointing, it's frustrating and annoying. Not good enough. The midfield battle let us down. Typical United at back. We will never win the league if you can't beat a Southampton team. We need a midfielder ASAP. Wrong team selection, poor tactics. United are now unbeaten in 27 away games. We lacked some creativity. We just didn't show the energy from last week. We made it tough for ourselves. We struggled. Second half FC, our midfield was too slow, lazy, sloppy and lethargic. Not enough quality. Southampton were knackered in the second half. We didn't show the ambition to win the game. Southampton were time wasting to get their first point. Watch Southampton lose next week. United didn't capitalise. Greenwood on the score sheet once again. Goes to show we need Cavani and Rashford. Awful performance. Onwards and upwards. A point it is. Anyway guys, let's just get straight into today's video. What did I make of the performance? I think it's a dreadful, awful, spineless performance by United, to be honest. Typical United are back again. Not good enough by us. It's disappointing, it's frustrating and annoying. I think coming away from home from Southampton was Southampton's first home fixture. Our first away fixture, so we knew it was going to be difficult, it was going to be tough, because obviously they had the fans and their fans were behind them, and it was never easy. We could see that the game from last week against Leeds and this game against Southampton yesterday was completely different. We really struggled from start to finish. We couldn't get going. It's just disappointment. I think it's a missed opportunity as well, because you've got other teams above us, the likes of Tottenham, that have had two difficult games, Man City and Wolves, and they grind it out and get 1-0 wins there. But at the end of the day, they're going to come up with tougher tests. And yes, obviously it's about the teams around us as well. But when you've got teams like us dropping points, then other teams around us can capitalise like Tottenham did yesterday against Wolves. It's just not good enough. Not good enough. The midfield battle just let us down. The whole midfield was wrong. Well, I don't think it was all wrong, but apart from playing Bruno, but the other two were clowns at the back. Unbelievable, to be honest. Ole's trying to go with a new formation with a 4-3-3. We were not ruthless. Didn't look like we were going to score a goal. Just not good enough for me. Typical United at the back once again, and that's what you're going to get. What really pisses me off and what really annoys me is that Southampton are going to be battling for relegation this season. 3 of their players are gone. They've pissed off because they want to win trophies now. 2 of them have gone to Leicester and the other one's gone to Villa. They're battling for relegation and it's not good enough. They are going to be they could even get relegated at the end of the day. I know we're 2 games in, people are going to have a moan here and there, but we're entitled to have a bit of a moan as well. But it's just not good enough. It's just disappointing, annoying, frustrating. I thought Southampton knackered in the second half, absolutely tired, time wasting, trying to get the first point, but that's down to their game management, and they did it really well, and it was up to us really, and we didn't really do much to get back into the game. We got the goal, but we should not be drawing to teams like this. It's not good enough on our half at the end of the day. We struggled at the end of the day, and we made it tough for ourselves as well. We just didn't show the energy from last week as well. It was like the energy levels were up here against Leeds, and the energy levels yesterday was just well below par. It's just not good enough. It was just, we were a little lethargic after that Leeds game. I don't know if it was a hangover from that game, playing the game midweek behind closed doors as well. Take these things into consideration as well. That probably didn't help us as well. But yeah, getting into the game now. First half we kicked off. I thought the first few minutes, Southampton were on the front foot. Got a few corners. I think that was a bit of a scare, because obviously when they get set pieces, you know, United panic a little bit as well. We know that Southampton are really good on their set pieces. But then I thought the game had settled down, both teams had settled into the game. I thought United then sort of hit back a little bit. You know, I thought we got on the front foot, created very little chances, but we did make an impact though on our set pieces, on our free kicks. We came close with a Bruno free kick. We came close with a corner as well. Matic should have scored it, maybe Pogba or Lindelof or Maguire should have scored it. So it just needed a bit of a nod, and that was it, and it was going in. And just disappointing. And I think we had about three free kicks where we looked where we looked dangerous and they just couldn't deal with it, and they couldn't deal with it against Everton last week as well. So we had the free kicks that probably made us try to get into the game a little bit as well, and then the midfield completely let us down. It was a midfield battle, playing Matic and Fred, the two clowns. They don't work. Two CDMs just don't work together. They played in that Leicester game that they let us down in that FA Cup, and they played again in this one. They don't work together, and it's more frustrating because, you know, Donny's sat on the bench and he's thinking, what more do I need to do to get into this team? And you've got to feel for Donny as well. Even Lingard's ahead of him now, so it's very frustrating. It's very annoying. And then obviously, then to top things off, Fred doesn't do well, doesn't clear it well. You know, people asking if it was a foul on Bruno. I don't think it's a foul, to be honest. I think Bruno was just too soft, I think, and it was never a foul for me. And but we should have done better. Maguire was dreadful as well, changing his angle, and then Fred, deflection of Fred, 1-0 Southampton, and then the reaction was just not good enough from the team. Second half, I thought we picked up the intensity and the tempo in the game. We got on the front foot, we tried, created very little chances though, and then when we took our chance, Greenwood got us back into the game. We sort of hit back into the game a little bit. We got our ground running. When we got the goal, you're thinking, let's kick on and let's go and win this game. Pogba had a fantastic chance as well, didn't take it, and then we sort of dropped back a little bit, let Southampton back into it. De Gea with a worldy save, and then just not one team couldn't capitalise, and not one team couldn't really take advantage. And a game like that, where you look lazy, sloppy, lethargic, the midfield was too slow, slowed everything right down, wasn't free flowing or anything like that. We struggled. We really struggled. We made it tough for ourselves once again. The mentality hadn't changed as well. Just knowing no ambition to win the game, and pisses me off because, you know, we've gave Southampton their first point now, and they'll kick on from that now. They've got a game midweek and they can kick on from this fixture as well. And it's just not good enough on our side. Gives them the confidence to kick on now their season. So, you know, Southampton, they'll be happy with a point, and for us it's 2 points dropped, and it's just not good enough. Not enough quality, and we lacked in creativity from start to finish. Not enough creativity. Didn't create enough chances on goal. Very dull game, and lacklustre performance. Just not good enough, and it's not good enough on our side, and we cannot be performing like that, and it's just not good enough. And don't care if it's 2 games in, you cannot be performing like that against teams like Southampton that are going to be in a relegation battle as well. So it's just not good enough on our side, not good enough. It's disappointing, annoying and frustrating to drop 2 points against a poor side in Southampton. We are 2 games in, but where did it go wrong? First one for me is team selection. Now, you look at that team selection, he's always going to pick De Gea, Wan-Bissaka obviously. We've bought a £43 million defender. Ollie's trying to say his sharpness isn't there too yet, and his fitness. I understand why he's playing Lindelof, playing Maguire obviously, and he's playing Luke Shaw. But this is where it all went wrong. The midfield, Matic and Fred, the 2 CDMs, they don't work together. I've seen them in games playing together, and yes, we might have won with them in the middle of the park, but it was not good enough. At the end of the day, they just don't work together. We sort of reverted back to a 4-2-3-1, even though trying to do the 4-3-3 once again. We're playing against a low block as well. The team selection as well in the midfield. Fred had a crap game, but I don't know if he would have changed it if he was playing as a CDM. Probably Matic and Donny. Donny should have played, possibly. Or you could have put Pogba in behind, put Sancho to the left, Greenwood to the right. Obviously Martial up top. Obviously, people don't like the way Martial's performing at the minute as well. Tactics as well, another one for me. Just the tactics were all wrong as well in the game. No one couldn't understand his tactics. Going to a 4-2-3-1, then reverting to a 4-3-3. There's just no ruthlessness from Ole. Changing the formation in the game in the second half didn't work. It might have worked to get the goal, but the tactics let us completely down as well against the poor Southampton team. The midfield let us down. Way too slow. We got on the front foot, completely slowed it right down. When you got someone like that to slow it down, that's Matic for slowing the play down. And Matic, he's not that quick as well. That's why we needed a Donny on the pitch, or a Lingard maybe as well. A Donny would have been the perfect fit. And the midfield let us completely down. It was way too slow in the midfield, and that's why it wasn't free-flowing. Not enough quality up front as well. Not good enough. You look at the players the likes of Pogba, Bruno, Greenwood obviously that got us the goal. Martial, crap. Not to be seen. I think that's because we're not giving him the service. Lacking creativity. The stats speak for itself as well, to be honest, because the stats here, which was unbelievable to me, we had 15 shots and 4 on target, so that just goes to show with the lack of creativity as well. I think there was no urgency in the team as well, and I think we got a little bit lazy, sloppy passing as well, losing possession too easily, lethargic in times as well. That's what completely let us down in the game. The energy wasn't there from start to finish. We just couldn't maintain those energy levels from last week. The energy levels were up here, and they were completely well below par against Southampton, and like as if they thought it was a walk in the park, and it wasn't. We made it tough for ourselves. We struggled. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. We are 2 games in. After 2 games, fans are now starting to go against Ole after a poor performance. But should we be talking about Ole in and Ole out at this stage of a new season? Look, I'm getting all this bollocks on Twitter saying Ole in, Ole out. It's 2 games in at the end of the day. People, yes, they're going to see about his substitutions. It's a recurring thing that happened last season going into this season. Look, we're 2 games into a new season. Let's wait after 10 games, for God's sake. And none of this Ole in, Ole out bollocks now. Because watch this now. They're all Ole out now. But come next game, we could get a brilliant win against Wolves, and they're like that. Ole in, Ole in, Ole in. Make your minds up. You either back the process or you get the guy out. He's trying to build a team, and if you don't like it, piss off. Because fans like this, I cannot be dealing with. Once after a win, it's like, Ole in, brilliant, lovely. And then after a poor performance, get Ole out. It's just not good enough. And if you're that fan, I'm not dealing with it this season. And I'm just sick and tired of asking this question time and time again. And it's just not good enough. Cannot believe this fan base as well. Back him, for God's sake. Why do we play fantastic against Leeds and play poor against Southampton? Mentality for me, I think. We knew going into that Leeds game, big game, rivals. It's at Old Trafford. Old Trafford was rocking, it was bouncing. We've got a fantastic win against Leeds, and then we go into Southampton. Oh yeah, brilliant, brilliant. And then we're going to Southampton. We can't take in that mentality going into the next game against Southampton. Did we get too carried away after that one game against Leeds? There's lots of questions that you've got to ask. The reason why I think we played poor against Southampton was because of the midfield. You could see the midfield against Leeds compared to Southampton, so there's a comparison there. The midfield was so much better against Leeds, against Southampton. But I think it was the mentality as well. The way how we approached the game was just not good enough. The way how we set up as well. People couldn't believe the starting 11 as well. That's what you get out of a game like that from Southampton. I know people are disappointed, annoyed and frustrated, but this is how football is. You're going to win games, you're going to draw games, and you're going to lose games. That's how it goes. It's not good enough. But on to the next one against Wolves, I guess. Who is my man of the match? Now, not many players had a great game, to be honest. I think De Gea, he could be a contender for my man of the match, made a brilliant save. Southampton could have easily won that towards the end. I think Wan-Bissaka, he's just not getting any support, but did you ask enough from Wan-Bissaka? I don't think so. Lindelof did okay. Maguire probably had one of the worst games of his career at United. Luke Shaw, not good enough. Matic and Fred, oh, don't get me started on these. Chuckle brothers, absolutely, Fred was dreadful. Passing was off. Losing possession too easily. Duck and Dumber, Jesus Christ, couldn't believe them. Awful, both of them were awful. Fernandez as well, I thought he was alright, tried as well. Greenwood tried, Pogba tried. Martial was just not good enough as well. I think the only one you can really give it to is Greenwood. I think Greenwood is my man of the match. Got us back into the game. And you could also give it De Gea for that great save towards the end of the game as well. Probably Greenwood and De Gea at the end of the day. How do we beat Wolves? Now obviously going into this game against Wolves now, we've got to go in with the right mindset and the right mentality into this game. We've drew against Southampton, and this is about the reaction now. We've beaten Wolves before, we know how to beat Wolves, we've beaten them twice. We can beat this team. We've got a new manager in place now, new tactics, new ideas. They're struggling at the minute, they've lost 2 games out of 2. They've lost both games by 1 goal as well. But this is Wolves. They'll look at us and they'll say, well, United have conceded in 2 games now. They're not looking that great at the back. So hopefully He's going to bring in Varane and hopefully bring in Sancho in, players that we want to see playing. But I've picked up on a few things that Wolves do. I think they leave holes in their defence. I don't think they're organised as well in times. I think they leave areas unattended as well. There's massive space to run into, and if we make a mistake, they'll try and capitalise on it. They did it a couple of times against Tottenham, and they can't deal with the ball over the top as well. They really struggle with the ball over the top, even though they play with a back five. They play with three at the back as well, which is unbelievable for a team like that, to be honest, when you're playing with a back three. They're a very physical team, you can see it as well. You really get stuck here. I think we've got to really push this team around. We have to. That's just the way Wolves are. A very physical team. The things that we've got to do against Wolves, the defence needs to be organised, and we've got to defend properly. We cannot let Traore bully the defence and cut inside as well into the box. Don't let them have time and space on the ball as well. We need to keep it tight and compact as well at the back. When we get our chances, we must take them. And we've got to play with a high intensity and high tempo and intent in our play. Getting between the lines, we've got to be ruthless against Wolves as well. I need to make the runs in from behind as well. From the get-go, we're going to have to be on it. Minute 1 for minute 90. We've beaten this Wolves team with our second team as well. And they played their first team as well. If we can beat Wolves with our second team, with the youngsters, most of the youngsters have gone on loan now, we can beat this Wolves team. We beat them fair and square 2-1 last time round last season. But I think they'll come into this game, Wolves hopeful, trying to get a result. This is going to be their second game at home as well this season. They'll be hoping to that Tottenham game behind them. They've lost 2 out of 2 now. They'll be coming into this game fully focused on us as well. And the concentration's got to be there as well. And we're going to have to really, the transition has got to be quick from defence to attack. We cannot be sloppy on the ball. We're going to have to be sharp, aware what's around us. Defensively, we have to be rock solid. When we go forward, we know we can counter-attack very well on the ball. We can break quickly on the ball as well. When we do, we have to make the runs in from behind, make right decisions as well. The decision making's got to be there. And when we get the chances, we must take our chances. We are going to get chances in this game. You have to take them against Wolves. And if you don't take them, it's one of them. Could be a kick in the teeth and you're thinking, well, we dropped points there again. Cannot afford to drop points now. This is not the time to drop more points. We've got to go there, got to put it right. We need to react now. When you have to go there, win. That'll be 7 points out of 9. Could be potentially a good start, despite the draw against Southampton, but we'll need to put it right against Wolves now. Tactics have got to be there on the day. The game plan's got to be there. We have to get the right midfield. I'd love to get a new midfielder in before this window shuts as well. We're going to have to go there, we're going to have to push them around, we're going to have to be really physically with them as well. The mentality is going to have to be there, we're going to have to be parallel for this game as well. We have to be ready against this Wolves team. They are going to give us a physical battle. We are going to have to be on top of this. We cannot switch off at the back. We're going to have to be defensively rock solid, have to be organised, we have to defend properly. We have to take our chances when we get them as well. It's just one of them that you have to do as well. Getting into the goals now. First goal, Pogba picks up the ball, passed the ball to Bruno passed it back to Pogba, and Pogba lays it to Greenwood, and Greenwood scores for 1-1. Getting into the stats now. Possession for Southampton, it was 36.4%, and for Man United it was 36.6%. Goals for Southampton it was 1, and for Man United it was 1. Total shots for Southampton it was 8, and for Man United it was 15. Shot on target for Southampton it was 3, and for Man United it was 4. Shot accuracy for Southampton it was 37.5%. For Man United it was 26.7%. Shots inside the box for Southampton it was 3, and for Man United it was 11. Shots outside the box for Southampton it was 6, and for Man United it was 3. Total passes for Southampton it was 291 passes, and for Man United it was 520 passes. The pass accuracy for Southampton it was 69.1%, and for Man United it was 79.8%. Getting into the substitutions now. Martial went off of Sancho. Talk about Anthony's performance. There was no rhyme or reason behind his recall. That's authority, exercise through the middle, and hurts before the hour. Fred went off McTominay. Talking about Fred's performance. Regressed, ceded possession too often, dittered too often, and was rattled by officiating. Made way for Scott McTominay. Matic went off of Lingard. Talk about Nemanja performance. A downgrade on Scott McTominay, and too cumbersome against Ward-Prowse, and Romeu eventually sacrificed. Next up, we've got Wolves. Wolves are 16th in the table. Coming into this game, we're going to have to prepare well for this game. Mentally, physically, we need to go in with the right mindset, the right mentality. We need to go there now, turn it into a win. We must react to this fixture now against Wolves. Wolves is going to be tough. We're going away from home, but we could potentially make history in this away fixture, a win or a draw. We will be 28 games unbeaten away from home. We've got to react now. No time to piss about. We're going to have to get the right midfield. Defensively, we're going to have to be organised. We have to stay compact. But when we get the ball, when we get possession, we're going to have to make runs in from behind. The decision needs to be right as well. Make the right passes, drag them out of position. You're going to have to really push them as well. It's going to be a physical battle with them as well. We need to push them out wide, stretch them out as well. We've got a big job here against Wolves. Obviously, they play three at the back as well, but they leave holes and areas that we can really just be explosive and run into and go and expose, get the crosses in. And that's what they couldn't deal with when we put the crosses in. When we kept putting the crosses in, their centre-backs couldn't deal with it. We need more of that as well from our side as well. He has to get the right team selection, the right tactics, the right game plan. And we have to go into this game, win it. We have to show the character, the pride, the passion, play for the club as well. We're going to have to go out there to Wolves and go and get the 3 points. Still yet to get a clean sheet as well. I love a fucking clean sheet as well. The thing is with Wolves, they're conceding goals and they're not scoring goals. And don't be the first team to let these score a goal as well. That's why we've defensively got to defend properly and be organised as well. Don't let these get their first point or get their first win of the season. Make them suffer. Make them lose their first 3 games. They've got a tough start to this league as well. Leicester, Tottenham, Man United. So we have to go in with this game with some confidence. We're going to have to be ready as well against Wolves. Going to be tough, going to be difficult, but I think we can go there and definitely get a result. They're not in great form themselves. Slow start for Wolves. New manager, going to take time though. This is our time to shine as well. This is the time to get the 3 points against a very good Wolves side. Wolves are scoring 0 goals per game. Wolves are conceding 1 goal per game. Wolves have won none, drawn none and lost 2. They've lost to Leicester City 1-0. They've lost to Tottenham 1-0. The players to look out for is Bolly, Cody, Dendoncker, Neves, Podence, Cias, Montinho, Neto, Jimenez, Trincao, Silva and Traore. Hope you guys are enjoying another video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you are new, and I'll see you guys in the video in the next couple of days. And peace.